I hate you guys so much.
Welcome back to the Chatting Average. John, leave that in. We are here on a beautiful Monday.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's beautiful where you guys are, but I would bet that it probably is.
It's pretty
It's
nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
It's been raining all day.
America watched baseball this weekend.
That is correct.
You know what
It's
America
huge.
also watched? The Knicks losing in 6 games.
See, when they said
Crazy.
Knicks in 6, they didn't mean losing in 6.
Yeah.
Hashtag Tyrese Halliburton. Use the hashtag Tyrese Halliburton on your next reply on the Chatting Average Twitter at the Chatting AVG. We won't do anything about that.
What the Hallie? What the Hallie? What the Halliburton?
Okay.
How was everybody's weekend? Good? Yeah?
Adam?
Adam?
I haven't had a weekend. I've worked for the last 13 days consecutively.
Adam was at the JUCO World Series. Who won?
They locked him in Suplicio Field.
That's it. That is true. They closed the gates before I could leave, even after I specifically told the grounds crew person that I was still here and not to lock the gates yet. He's not the brightest guy in the world. The winning team was Salt Lake Community College. They defeated Walters State Community College 9-6 in the championship game.
Wow.
Very happy for the Salt Lake guys. Disappointed for Walters State, who is now under head coach David Shelton, been to the JUCO World Series 6 times and finished in the top 3, 5 of them, and also never won.
Ooh. Tough.
He was very emotional after the game, and I'm sure you can understand why.
The 90s Buffalo Bills of the JUCO circuit. What about you, John? How was your weekend, since you were so kind to ask us about our weekends?
Yeah, I had a great weekend. I actually watched the Pacers win in Bloomington, Indiana, where there's a lot of Pacers fans.
Why were you in Bloomington?
I was helping one of my friends move back. They just got a new house, so. Apparently that
Adam.
statement upset Adam.
Adam does not support Bloomington, Indiana.
Correct. I'm out on Bloomington.
But
We're
yeah,
in on Lafayette. Boiler up.
it's called West Lafayette.
I prefer East Lafayette, actually.
There isn't one of those.
Lafayette is East Lafayette.
He's got a point.
He does have a point.
Shout out the Wabash
Wow.
River. Anyway, so baseball, right? Not JUCO baseball, which is
Baseball.
We
great.
could talk JUCO baseball. I could go on about it for
I think
hours.
you could talk JUCO
I
baseball.
watched a lot more JUCO baseball than I have Major League Baseball over the last week or so.
I can't say that I watched any JUCO baseball. I read a couple of your articles, but I watched none of it.
Somebody doesn't have ESPN Plus.
I actually don't. So I feel like I should at some point get ESPN Plus, but I don't have it. Any of that wine behind you yours, John?
No, but the thing that it's on, I bought.
Congrats.
Like a little Vine thingy. It was a Christmas present.
The Vine?
Wonderful.
Vine?
Divine?
So,
Alrighty,
which one
the
do we want to
Ameri-
start with? Let's see. The White Sox got swept.
Nope.
Yay!
So, the Braves
Lost
lost
again.
2 out of
Colorado
3.
Rockies got swept.
The Rockies got swept. So we can start with the interleague then, I guess.
We're going to the interleague.
All 3
Ooh.
series of interleague play. I'm excited for this one.
Yay.
Starting us off in the interleague, Boston and Atlanta. Boston takes it. They win the bread games.
Bread games.
Bread games.
Red.
Game 1, 5-1 win for the Red Sox. Story, a 2-run homer. Devers, 2 RBIs. Game 2, a 5-0 win for the Atlanta Braves. Austin Riley, a home run, and Acuna, a 2-run home run. Although in Game 3, though, the Boston Red Sox come back out on top in a 3-1 win. Story has a 3 RBI double. Crochet goes 7 innings pitched, 12 Ks. And I think Atlanta's still in 4th place. St. Louis and Texas. Texas takes Game 1, 11-1. Langford a 2-run home run. Simeon a 2-run home run. And Haggerty and Young, 3 RBIs each. 2-0 in Game 2 for St. Louis. Contreras with the RBI double. Sonny Gray goes 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 10 Ks. Game 3, 8-1. Texas wins. Texas scores 5 in the bottom of the 8th. Go up on top there. New York and the Dodgers. So actually, let's get this right here. The New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles played. Game 1, 8-5 win for the Dodgers. Ohtani homers twice. The Dodgers score 4 in the bottom of the 6th. Game 2, 18-2. The Dodgers take it. Muncy, 3-run home run. Hyun-Sung Kim, a 2-run home run. Muncy, a 3-run home run again. Andy Page is a home run. Dalton Rushing, a 3-run home run. Pacers won at the same time the Dodgers did. Game 3, 7-3 win for the Yankees. Ben Rice, a 2-run home run, and LeMahieu has 2 RBIs to round out the interleague games.
I think we should start right there with Dodgers and Yankees. This is far and away the most important series in interleague play, a rematch of last year's World Series. And just like last year's World Series, the Dodgers just absolutely thumped the Yankees. I think a lot of folks in the national media were kind of getting the idea at this point in the year that maybe the Dodgers weren't exactly what people thought they were going into the season. There's been some injuries, especially in that pitching staff, and we can get deeper into that if you guys want to, but that pitching staff has been really taxed. Now people are starting to question, is this really the best team in baseball? The answer is a resounding yes. When they want to come out and play, they can beat the Yankees by 16 runs. I mean, they're just the best team in baseball. They just are. There's no two ways about it.
One of the tough things for the Yankees over this series is the starting pitching, and it's been one of the things that they've had to deal with over the season so far. The storyline has largely revolved around Max Fried, 1.92 ERA, 2.05 ERA plus, a 2.88 FIP. He's been fantastic. He is who we thought he was. Carlos Rodon has been 1.51 ERA plus, better than league average, 2.60 ERA flat, but everything else has been bad. Will Warren, in his last game out, which was that drubbing by the Dodgers, threw an inning and a third with 7 earned runs on 6 hits and 4 walks. Only one of those was a home run, too, by the way. So he was just getting peppered all over the field. This is going to be something, alongside likely infield contribution as well, that the Yankees are really going to be aggressive at the deadline, if I had to guess, because this is proof in and of itself that if you're going to make a deep run in the postseason, you can't just be Max Fried and then pray that the bullpen can hold for the other 2 games. You need to have someone you can be confident throwing behind Max Fried, because originally Max Fried was the guy you felt confident throwing behind Garrett Cole. No Garrett Cole, yes Max Fried, and then everything else goes filtering down into place.
They stole Garrett Cole.
They did steal Garrett Cole.
Unfortunately
for the Yankees, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit later, especially when we get into, we'll say the Marlins, for example. Over the first third of the season, because we're now over a third of the way into this Major League Baseball season, over the first third of the season, the arms that we kind of went into the year thinking were going to be the premium rentals that were on the trade market at the deadline have looked really, really bad. I just don't know that there's a lot of talent to go out and get at this year's deadline, especially in the starting rotation. And that could be very bad for a team like the Yankees that very clearly need a boost. Now, they do have some players that are going to come back relatively soon. And I think Luis Gil is somebody that we definitely need to mention as somebody that has not pitched for them this year, but was, the key of their rotation, I would argue, last season. When he gets back, if he's healthy, if he's good, that's going to be a huge piece for them. But they need more than just one piece.
I think the other thing, too, is like you say about the deadline is you're right. Like, I don't think that there's going to be a bunch of big name guys moved in the starting pitching market. And I think that's kind of what the Yankees need, although I do we preface that by there's going to be starting pitchers moved. It's just not going to be that guy who's going to immediately step into your number 2 role. It's going to be that team that's looking for a solid day 4, day 5 starter. And the Yankees need more than that.
I mean, otherwise, you look at them, and the offense is remarkably competent. Aaron Judge, of course, is always going to be a talking point, but right now he has a 1248 OPS, a 249 OPS plus. He's hit 21 homers already. I mean, he's on pace for, if we're exactly at the midpoint, 63, or at the third point. He already has 4.7 WAR this season. They don't really do it much better than him. That's not a surprise. No one's really surprised by that, but when you start looking deep, your third base contribution is, was Oswaldo Cabrera. Then you look at it's is it Oswald Peraza now? If Cabrera getting injured,
do you slide DJ LeMahieu over and try and patch somebody over at second base? His best days are very clearly behind him, in my opinion.
What's going on with Jazz Chisholm?
Exactly.
If when he's healthy, do you trust him to contribute? Right now he's at a 101 OPS plus. He's fine defensively. That's where he needed to be on the infield, was second instead of third base. But his bat isn't exactly developing for you, and this is again the guy you brought in to replace Gleyber Torres, who has a 127 OPS plus with Detroit. You ended up making you're losing offensive production there. You're getting roughly the same WAR, but it's objectively very funny to me that the Yankees facial hair curse still exists, where Yankees leave, grow a beard, and then are better. You've seen this time and again. Rougned Odor, Joey Gallo, Gleyber Torres. The list goes on in recent memory. Aaron Hicks as well, when he had that really hot streak in Baltimore right after he got waiver claimed. But anyway, people don't talk about the Yankees enough. This is a small upstart team, and people don't talk about the Yankees enough. The national media needs to give more focus on the Yankees.
I think we'll agree on that.
We probably need to hit some buzzer words just so podcast. Well, Shohei.
Is Aaron Judge the best player ever?
Barry Bonds.
Aaron Judge. Yankees, Dodgers.
Shohei Ohtani, Dodgers, MLB Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani pitching, Shohei Ohtani dog decoy.
Okay.
Sunday Night Baseball, Red Sox, Yankees, part 37 coming up this weekend.
The Braves and the Mets haven't even played yet.
Correct.
I saw this. I don't know where this tweet was on my timeline today, but there's a bunch of teams that, the Yankees and Red Sox haven't played yet.
I don't know if the Sox and the Twins have played.
The Braves and the Mets aren't going to play for another week.
They did.
This is, for some reason, a lot of the historic rivalries are not starting until June, which is kind of a travesty. You should have the Yankees and the Red Sox play before June.
You should have the Yankees and the Red Sox play every single day, and it should be on ESPN every game.
I agree.
That's true. I agree. Carl Ravitch, this means you.
I'm talking to you, Buster Olney. Show me more New York Yankees, Buster Olney.
I really need to know
a different IL series before I go insane.
Yeah, St. Louis and Texas. The Rangers. What is up with the Rangers' old man retirement home rotation actually kind of being fun to watch?
Well, because
they've done this for so many years in a row. Remember that year where they had Mike Minor and Lance Lynn, and both of them were finalists for the Cy Young?
Right.
They both get old arms and squeeze the last meat off the bone. It happens every year, and it works. It keeps working. I don't get it.
Their only issue right now is the fact that, other than this series, they put up 8 and 11 in their 2 wins, is that their offense goes, I don't know how to. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, let's play a fun game. Let's play a fun game here.
How fun is it?
Are either of you looking at the Texas Rangers stat page? Don't if you're not.
Not once.
All right. I want you to tell me who the highest OPS plus is on the team.
Oh God.
Qualified and non-qualified.
Josh Young.
No, Josh Young has been awful over the last 30 days. I just dropped him.
He is actually tied for third.
Yeah, bang. Is it Langford?
Not Langford, is it?
It is no. He's actually tied with Josh Young for third. It is Alejandro Osuna with a 125 OPS plus, followed by Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, and Josh Young, and then rounding it out for fifth is Josh H. Smith.
Okay.
The highest OPS plus is a 125 from a guy who has 7 plate appearances. Or 21 plate appearances in 7 games. The guy who was supposed to be their big thumper, Jake Berger, 81 OPS plus. Adolis
Yeah,
Garcia.
he got promoted. He's back up now. He's back up now, but
yeah.
I mean, like this Rangers team was one that I picked to go very far in the postseason going into the year, and that was predicated on the fact that all of their very talented batters could not possibly have as bad of a season as they did last year. They might be having as bad of a season as they did last year.
You know what's really, really funny to me?
No, I don't actually.
The Jacob deGrom left the Mets after not getting run support, and he goes to the Rangers and immediately doesn't get run support.
Very correct. Very correct.
This season,
he's the problem.
He's 5-2 in 12 games started. He's also not actually striking out nearly as many as you'd think. He's struck out 66, but that's well under his highest mark from 2018 of 269 if you stretch it out over a full season. But that doesn't mean he's not been effective. He's had a 2.34 ERA. He's being really more selective with how he uses his arm. You saw this in some of the interviews he did prior to the season where he's like, not everything has to be 99. If you can have a really effective and really deceptive 96, 97, and you save it, you saw people like Spencer Strider actually using a very similar philosophy, working back from injury, being intentional with how you use velocity. And this is paid dividends for a guy who's really just looking for his first qualified season in 4 years.
Correct. He's just trying to stay on the field. On the flip side of this series, I do want to quickly mention the St. Louis Cardinals, the team that I'm currently representing, has had a surprisingly good year, and they are surprisingly relevant in this NL Central. I don't think any of the three of us really saw that coming. Maybe this series, not a great reflection of that, as they lose 2 out of 3 to Texas, and they get absolutely killed in both of the 2 games they lose. But when Sonny Gray is on the mound for them, they've been unbeatable. And I think that this Cardinals team is maybe a pitcher or 2 away from being a very serious, lock for the postseason, which is crazy to think about when we look at how this team did absolutely nothing in the postseason and how they are in the offseason, I should say, and how last year they were the most miraculously 500 team ever because they felt like they were a lot worse than that.
So stop me if this doesn't make sense. The Cardinals have built a rotation of Chad innings eaters.
Correct.
None of them are necessarily jumping off the page.
Correct.
The lowest ERA plus is 97 with Andre Palante. The highest is 134 with Matthew Liberatore. But they're all good enough, and they all push 6, 7 innings. That way, when you look at throwing it to Phil Maton, Kyle Leahy, Ryan Helsley, you feel good about just being like, whatever. The last 2 innings they're not gonna score an earned run. It's up to the offense, and it's a refreshing move away from the rocking chairs on the front step of the senior living community that they had last year, where you're having Lance Lynn go like that to a tune of 5 innings and 5 earned runs. But
Do we want to quickly hit on the final interleague series in Boston and Atlanta?
I don't think John.
It's okay if we don't.
Garrett Crochet is really good. He's still really good.
Both teams are insanely underperforming.
Yeah, but either one of these offenses needs to get slapped awake because nothing's happening right now.
The burnt-out husk of Trevor Story might finally be turning things around for the Red Sox, which they need very badly, because I don't think I've ever seen a team that has screwed up their roster construction as poorly as this team has.
They just got to do something. They got to do something.
They got to do more than something. American League or National League? Where do we want to go?
Well, I was going to say, normally we just pick on whose team won more games, but both teams got swept. However, we're a third of the way through the season, and the Colorado Rockies don't have a 10th win yet, so we're doing the American League first. And to start that off, the Chicago White Sox and the Baltimore Orioles play, and Baltimore gets to 3 free wins. Free three wins. Free 3 free. 2-1 in game 1, Mountcastle stole home, and Eflin goes 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 Ks. 4-2 in game 2, Holiday a home run, as well as Mateo with a 2-run home run. 3-2 in game 3, Urias, O'Hearn, and Carlson each have RBIs. Charlie Morton goes 6.2 and 7 Ks. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Athletics play 4, and Toronto sweeps 12-0 in game 1. Clement a 3-run homer. Vladdy a 2-run shot, Bichette a 2-run shot, and Springer goes yard as well. 11-7 in game 2, Clement home run again. Barger has a home run, Kirk has 2 RBIs, so does Straw. 8-7 in game 2, Soderstrom with a 3-run shot. Barger goes yard again, Bichette goes beyond the wall, and Springer homers twice. Game 4, an 8-4 win for the Blue Jays. Barger a 3-run home run, Vladdy has 2 RBIs on the day. The Angels and Cleveland. Game 1, 4-1, Cleveland wins. I'm sorry, that's not right. 4-1, the Angels win. Soler home run. Soriano 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 Ks. 7-5 in game 2, Cleveland wins it. J-Ram a home run. Kwan goes yard, and so does Santana. That's enough for them. 4-2 in game 2, J-Ram goes yard again. Nolan Jones has 2 RBIs, and Cleveland takes the series. Detroit and Kansas City. A little bit of American League Central beautifulness here in Kansas City. Game 1, Detroit wins 7-5. Green a 2-run shot. Dingler a 2-run shot, and Torque goes yard as well. Game 2, 1-0 win in Kansas City. Pasquantino with an RBI single. Waka goes 7 innings pitch, 1 hit, 6 Ks. Game 3, a 1-0 win for Detroit. A wild pitch scores McKinstry. Everybody knows when that happens, everybody sits there and goes, well, we'll make up for that. We have to score 1 to win. And then you only get one run across the board for the wild pitch. Tampa Bay and Houston in a 4-gamer. And it's a split. 13-3 in game 1. Caminero for the Rays. Caminero has a 3-run shot and 6 RBIs on the day. Yandy Diaz and Cameron Meisner have 2 RBIs. 2-1 in game 2. Houston wins. Caballero homers and Yanier Diaz homers. 16-3 for Tampa Bay in game 3. Diaz a 2-run shot. Caminero a home run. Mangum a 2-run home run. One of the Lau brothers that aren't brothers, 2-run home run. Caminero a 3-run home run. That's 2 on the day. And game 4, 1-0 win for the Astros. Walker an RBI single. Hunter Brown goes 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 5 Ks. Minnesota and Seattle, 2 teams that I feel like are cut from the same exact cloth, just in the way that I think about them. 12-6, Minnesota wins. Larnach, Castro again, Correa again, not again. They all homer. 5-4 in game 2 for Seattle. Wallner a home run. Raleigh a 2-run home run. Crawford a 2-run home run. In the bottom of the 11th, Mastroboni scores on a fielder's choice for the walk-off. Game 3, a 2-1 win. Raleigh homers again. That's 23 on the year. Randy Arozarena, an RBI single walk-off for the win. The standings. Do you guys want the standings?
Yes, I have them in front of me, and I can read them off. The American League East, is comfortably controlled by the New York Yankees, who are 5.5 games up on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Rays, the Red Sox, and the Orioles are the cellar dwellers in the East. In the Central, Detroit 6 games up on the Cleveland Guardians, who currently occupy a wild card spot. Also occupying a wild card spot are the Minnesota Twins, the Royals on the outside looking in, and the White Sox are very, very bad. In the American League West, the Seattle Mariners are the division leaders. They are up half a game on the Astros. The Rangers 4 games back, and then the Angels and John Sansoni's Athletics in last place, 10 games back of the division lead. They have a lot of time to build that back, but it is going to take some work.
I believe in the scrappy boys of Oaklamento.
I'm glad you do, because I personally do not. Go ahead.
Were you going to talk about the Orioles?
I was not going to talk about the Orioles. I was going to talk about the Mariners.
Okay. You go first on the Mariners.
With the Seattle Mariners, there is, I would say, really just one narrative that has kind of pervaded throughout the entire season so far, and that is the unexpected rise of Cal Raleigh. At what point do we have to start having the conversation about him being a legitimate MVP candidate? Because 23 home runs a third of the way through the season as a catcher is nuts.
Both sides of the plate, too.
It is nuts. Like, he's on pace right now to be just shy of 70 home runs, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Leading
the league in home runs, 45 RBIs, 194 OPS plus.
And by the way, he's playing Gold Glove defense as a catcher as well.
Yeah. 37 walks already on the year. His highest before this season was 70 last year. I'm trying to find fielding. No mistakes.
So when you look at the counting stats, he's 5th in the entirety of MLB with 3.4 WAR. Out of position players, he's 4th because Chris Bubich is 4th in the league in WAR. He's 2nd in offensive WAR. Not in the top 10 in defensive WAR, but he's a Gold Glove catcher. OPS, he is 4th. He's one of 4 players with over 1,000 OPS. The other 3 being Judge, Freeman, and Ohtani. Most of these counting stats, he sits behind Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the tough thing for him to get the AL MVP, is just the fact that you're behind Judge. That was kind of the thing with Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Shohei Ohtani. It's like, Vlad's having a crazy year, but you're right behind Shohei Ohtani, and you just can't really do anything about that.
That's my biggest issue too.
Unfortunately for Cal Raleigh, his team actually wins games and doesn't go down by 10 runs, so he can't stat pad like Aaron Judge does. And so it's going to be very difficult for him to, make up for that, fastballs that are grooved down the center of the plate when it's a 10-run game and nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter if he hits it out of the park or not.
Cal Raleigh finished 12th in MVP voting last year, 18th in 2023, won his first Gold Glove last year. Last year he finished 12th in MVP voting with a 220 average, 118 OPS plus, 100 RBIs, 34 home runs.
He's going to beat all those numbers by a considerable margin this year.
Yeah.
So one of the really fascinating things for me is that he also does such a high volume of catching. It's to the point where his backup catcher is Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver doesn't even have his position as catcher on Baseball Reference.
Yeah.
He has DH because he's only caught 14 games so far. Cal Raleigh is there.
46 games played at the catcher position this year, out of his 58 on his back of his baseball card so far this year. 44 complete games at the catcher position, 45 games started. That's 407 innings already. That's somewhat normal for him, though. In 2024, 135 games played at the catcher position, 125 starts.
Right. And that's what's so impressive is that he's a high value offensive contributor, a sure-handed defensive backstop, and he's durable. Obviously, knock on wood for that, because right now he's kind of the only thing keeping the Mariners afloat.
Correct.
On the offensive side, at least, because
he's played he's played every game this season.
Right.
No,
because he doesn't even. When he takes days off, he just moves to DH, and Mitch Garver goes to catcher.
I would say, and that's the other thing. The nice thing about having your switch hitting catcher is that he just plays. You don't have to go, oh, well, we're going to platoon him here because he's facing the lefty today. Like, he literally, it doesn't matter. He's just good.
People like to consider 2021 Salvador Perez to have had the greatest single season as a catcher ever. And obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than just WAR, but if you're looking strictly at WAR numbers, Cal Raleigh's already halfway there.
That's nice.
You have to understand here. I do not think Salvador Perez is a Hall of Fame catcher. The fact that this might be the last domino to fall in Salvador Perez's case, that the only thing they would have left is, but think of all the All-Star games he made.
And that's kind of series.
That one World Series, though. But he's such a clubhouse. He's such a clubhouse leader. He's such a clubhouse leader, guys. Okay.
What about his smile, John?
So is Guillermo Heredia. I'm not saying Guillermo Heredia is a Hall of Famer. Okay? But he swung pink foam swords around. And I'm, great vibes guy. There's not a Hall of Great Vibes guys. That's called the streets. There's a Hall of
start that?
That's one of the most important skills a person can have is being a good hand.
There is a Hall of Pretty Good. I do think
I'm starting to get annoyed by that Twitter account, by the way. And we can get into this later, but you can't put every single baseball player who's ever played into the Hall of Pretty Good. At a certain point, it no longer matters.
Right. It becomes the Hall of Remembering Dudes.
Exactly. I would argue it's already there. It's already there.
Kurt Suzuki,
no barrier
guys.
For entry. You have to retire.
Nothing against Kurt Suzuki.
Baseball. Do you see these keys that I'm jingling in front of you? Kurt Suzuki played baseball. Don't you remember?
As a founding partner of the Chatting Average and a current senior partner of the Chatting Average, along with the other two men that are currently on your screen or in your ears, I would like to formally introduce legislation that says the Chatting Average will soon to open the Hall of Vibe Guy.
I'm with that.
Okay.
If we can find a way to actually find some good vibes guys,
we might have to
I have
our first vote.
I have a proposal for our second new postseason award category of the year.
Okay.
Along with the Kyle Tucker Aircraft Carrier Award, I would like to add the inaugural Vibes Guy of the Year award.
What was the Kyle Tucker Aircraft Carrier Award about?
I don't know, because we just wrote it down.
Like, we didn't write down why. Just in our general chat is Kyle Tucker Aircraft Carrier Award.
Actually, right above that, I think you need to mention the fact that it's Kyle Tucker and then Abraham Lincoln, because he is Abraham Lincoln. I think he was Aircraft Carrier Award because he kind of does everything.
No, it was called the Aircraft Carrier because there was somebody, I think it was Dan O'Dowd in the offseason on MLB Network, referred to him as an aircraft carrier. And we spent like 10 minutes talking about what the hell does that even mean?
Guys, I opened up we're good. I opened up a screen. I didn't know what it meant. Do we have any other American League series we want to talk about, even though we kind of haven't talked about any of them yet? Not really. Like, Detroit came out on top against Kansas City. Duh. Like, all of these make sense to me. Like, Tampa Bay and Houston makes sense. Splitting to me through 4 games. Like nothing
Especially
is
at
super
Houston. Tampa doesn't win at home, but that makes sense.
right. Yes.
Good for Baltimore to get 3 wins. They desperately need them. They're running out of time to turn that season around. I'm not sure we're ready to cast them off yet, but they're getting very close.
Right. I'm
I
trying to find the original tweet about aircraft carrier Kyle Tucker.
so what's left for the Orioles?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? Like
Hold
this
up.
is a
Certainly
Trade
not,
our Sox.
certainly not pitching.
I feel like
That's true.
every time we record this show, I get unreasonably angry about the Baltimore Orioles, and today will be no different. I just hope you know
I'll bring
that.
it up just to piss you off. I hope you know that.
I hate the Baltimore Orioles now. And I hate that I hate the Baltimore Orioles because I think they are a really fun team. In theory, this is the Justin Herbert if man of the MLB. Because you should be better if you have Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, Cedric Mullins, Heston Kjerstad, Jordan Westberg. You have all these great position players, and you're throwing out you're throwing Cade Povich and Charlie Morton 2 days out of the 5. Your best pitcher is Tomoyuki Sugano.
John, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would Dylan Cease help this team? Would Garrett Crochet help this team?
Would Corbin Burns help this team? His arm did just explode. His arm did just explode.
Yeah, he's mentioned later. Don't worry. Would either of those former White Sox pitchers help this team?
Anything would have helped. The White Sox, why didn't they make a move?
Because Rick Hahn asked for Jackson Holliday in both trades, and they said no both times.
Ooh, I would have moved him. I'm sorry. Look, I think Jackson Holliday.
I think in hindsight they would too. Like even taking their record out of the equation, like Holliday has not been as good as they wanted him to be, and like at that point you should have moved that prospect for a starting pitcher that is a Cy Young candidate.
And it's not like you're missing any positional flexibility.
No,
you lose Jackson Holliday. You move Jackson Holliday. You put Jordan Westberg at second base instead of third, and you have Ramon Arias at third.
Yep, that's the issue with what they've been doing because they got so locked in on who their prospects were that they didn't want to get rid of those top prospect guys that they had, but none of them were pitchers. So then,
what about Kobe Mayo? Wait a minute. What about Kobe Mayo?
What about Kobe Mayo? I don't know. Stop shoving Lenine Sosa for no darn reason. That's what I say about Kobe Mayo. I apologize.
Lenine Sosa was in the way.
The benches. What? Have you seen the video? I don't know what Kobe Mayo was on. I'm pretty sure he did a line of coke in the dugout before he went out on base.
You know what they say about blanks love Sosa? I can't say that first word for fear of me having to censor this episode.
He actually says that word a lot, but you'll just have to guess what it starts with.
It's true. Starts with an L.
Lenines love Sosa. Ryan O'Hearn is actually good now.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
And you know what? That's fine. He had 2 total WAR last year. He has 1.9 now. Yeah. He's at a 176 OPS plus. He's playing DH, first base, and corner outfield. I don't know why it took the entire team crumbling to sand or being vaporized by opening the Ark of the Covenant like it's Indiana Jones for Ryan O'Hearn to figure out that he had to hit the baseball in the air instead of on the ground. But good for him, man. And Mike Elias, it should have been you.
John, I actually have a question. Why are we bringing up WAR when we need to talk about the White Sox WAR leader, Miguel Vargas?
Okay. Actually, though, Miguel Vargas is kind of sneaky good now.
Guess his
Miguel
four.
Vargas and Ryan O'Hearn are both gentlemen that I picked up in the last day in fantasy.
I'm really upset that you picked up Miguel Vargas because I wanted Miguel Vargas, and now I'm stuck trotting out Jose Caballero.
I did that for
And
a little
also,
bit in the beginning.
can I rant about something else now before we get to the NL? Just really quickly.
Please, yeah. I
Dear
don't know what
ESPN
happened. You wrote me
Fantasy
in my left
Baseball.
ear.
Dear ESPN Fantasy Baseball.
Oh.
Per your own notification, Chandler Simpson got demoted to AAA Durham. If I hit quick lineup, please stop putting him in my lineup. He doesn't play. He's not in the major leagues. Play Victor Scott. Play Jose Altuve or any of the middle infielders I have at outfield, which they all have eligibility for. Play anyone out there. Stop playing Chandler Simpson, because every day I hit quick lineup. Every day you put Chandler Simpson in, and every day I get a notification that Chandler Simpson's not a starter for the Rays. Move him to the bench. I know he's not. He hasn't even reported to AAA yet. I don't know where he is. He's trapped in the back of a Food Lion in Cherokee, North Carolina right now, for all I know. He's not there. Stop putting him there.
I put him in the back of a U-Haul yesterday. I'm sorry.
And also, Tampa Bay. They are in the AL series. I can actually talk about Tampa Bay here. Why did you demote him? I get he's not playing good outfield defense.
He's a good fantasy player. He is not a good real player. There is
But he's a good fantasy player, and therefore I care about him. He's a good fantasy player.
You know
for
who
me.
else was a good fantasy baseball player? Billy Hamilton and D. Gordon. You know what? Neither of them were good baseball players. It happened.
I disagree, and his name is D. Strange.
Gordon. G. Strange Gordon. It's all three.
It is all three. He also took
I'm
PEDs.
aware. Who did?
D. Strange Gordon.
No way. Actually?
Yes, dude. What?
Hey, John.
To me, D. Strange Gordon is just D. Normal Gordon. That's just a glimpse into my twisted mind.
Go to the NL.
Yeah, let's go to the NL.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I just turned him off.
Crazy bread is just normal bread to me.
National League is brought to you by Little Caesars Crazy Bread. Go get your own crazy bread later today. Cincinnati and the Chicago Cubs playing a 3-game series. Cincinnati takes game 1 6-2. Friedel goes yard. T-Step a 2-run home run, and Rake Fraley a 2-run home run. 2-0 in game 2. The Cubs take the game. Suzuki and Swanson each have RBIs. Game 3 a 7-3 win for the Cubs. Bush has a home run and 3 RBIs on the day, and Nico Horner has 2 RBIs. Milwaukee sweeps the Phillies. 6-2 in game 1. Yelich a 3-run homer and a solo shot. Game 2, 17-7. Hoskins has 2 3-run homers. Churio has a 3-run homer and 5 RBIs on the day. Game 3, 5-2. Milwaukee takes it. Bowers 2 RBIs. Churio and Charang each have an RBI of their own. The Colorado Rockies continue to lose games. This time against the New York Mets, they get swept. 4-2 in game 1. Lindor has 2 home runs. Marte homers. 8-2 in game 2. Nimmo a 2-run shot. Soto and McNeil each go yard. 5-3 in game 3. Orlando Arcia, old friend alert, homers. Pete Alonso a 2-run home run. Lindor a home run. Soto a home run. The Giants and then Miami game 1 2-0. Giants win. Chapman goes yard. 1-0 in game 2. The Miami Marlins win. Javier Sanoja an RBI single. Edward Cabrera 5.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 Ks. 4-2 in game 3. Giants win. Luis Matos a 3-run home run. Washington Nationals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. 9-7 in game 1 for the Nats. Wood a home run, 3-run home run for Bell, and Hassel the third, 3 RBIs. 11-7, Nats win in game 2. Nationals scored 10 runs in the first. The first 9 of those are with 0 outs on the board. 3-1 in game 3. Diamondbacks salvage the series. Eugenio Suarez with a 2-run home run, and Corbin Burns literally dies. Pittsburgh and San Diego Padres. Game 1, a 3-2 win for the Padres. Merrill 2 RBIs. Pavetta goes 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 8 Ks. Game 2, 5-0 for those Pirates. Arg. McCutcheon has a home run. Reynolds has 2 RBIs. Game 3, 6-4 win for the Padres. Machado home run. San Diego Padres score 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Before we move on to the standings brought to you by Adam D. Busack, I do think we need to prepare for that time that somebody might actually die on the baseball field, and we have to stop saying Corbin Burns is dead.
Yeah,
That would be bad. That would be very bad.
That'd be bad.
Yeah,
You know who is practically dead on the baseball field? The Cincinnati Reds.
All right, I got to read the standings before we get into that, so thank you for jumping ahead. We'll start with the NL West. The Los Angeles Dodgers, 2 games up on the San Diego Padres for the NL West lead. The Padres in a wild card spot, so are the Giants, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies on the outside looking in. But hey, the Rockies could rally. You never know. The NL Central, the Cubs are leading the division. The Cardinals 4 games back. They're in a wild card spot right now, currently outside of the playoff picture. The Brewers 5.5 back in the division. The Reds 8.5 back in the division. And the Pittsburgh Pirates 15.5 back. And then in the NL East, the New York Metropolitans leading things. The Philadelphia Phillies 1 game back, 3 games up in the wild card race. They are in first place in the wild card race. The surprise Washington Nationals, 9 games back in the East, 1/2 game ahead of the Atlanta Braves, and then the Miami Marlins are there as well.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Adam, who has the best record in the entire Major League of Baseball?
The team with the best record in Major League Baseball, where actually
Missouri.
What?
Oh. He's pointing at his hat.
I don't know why he's pointing at his hat. It's Detroit. It's the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, Tigers.
Oh, that actually does make sense. Yeah, the Tigers have the best record in baseball right now. They are 39-21. Tied for second place. The Cubs and Mets, they both have 37 wins. They're 2 games back.
Huh.
I heard someone say, so on the national broadcast of, I'm sorry, what is happening?
What has happened to your screen, Mr. Lieber?
It's Discord the movie going on behind me. It's like,
all right, I'm
the Minecraft movie.
Ignoring that.
So I was watching that one Dodgers-Yankees game where the Dodgers won by 18 runs. And Joe Davis on play-by-play said that he didn't think the Tigers were going to finish the season as the AL Central champions. He said that they didn't think they actually had it. Of course, he said that the Dodgers were going to win the NL West because he's the actual play-by-play guy on Sportsnet LA. But, I'm just going to keep looking to the camera. But I think they've got it. I think they got it.
I'm just saying.
You think the Twins aren't going to come out of nowhere and get it. The Royals they might. The Guardians are meh, but they could. And the White Sox are in the division.
You know what? They're more in the division than some teams can say.
So the Colorado Rockies, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Is there
this
anything in your life that you think you have done 22 consecutive times without fail? 22 times in a row and you've never once slipped up? Not even slightly?
Most of my ABCs.
That's a good point.
Probably,
no, I'd say
driving to Dunkin'. I've never
taken a wrong turn?
I've never put in the wrong order at Dunkin'.
You've never skipped a day at Dunkin'? Never gone to Starbucks instead?
You didn't say that, just 22 consecutive times.
The Colorado Rockies have lost 22 series without fail.
You know what's crazy about that? Do you think it's because they have 9 wins?
Yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
I think another big part of it is that their City Connects look like shit, and they feel bad when they have to wear them. And when they feel bad, they don't want to play good baseball, and then when they don't play good baseball, they lose, and then when they lose, they feel bad. So I think right now the vibes are just low.
Can I play a fun game with you guys?
Hall of 5 guys.
Please.
A fun game here. I want you to tell me 2 things. The first quiz is, out of qualified hitters, how many Colorado Rockies have a league average or above OPS plus? That is 100 or above. Keeping in mind they play at Coors Field, the most offense-friendly ballpark, and that OPS plus does account for that.
Yeah, they get penalized for playing at Coors.
How many of them?
Are so bad.
How many?
Are we counting only qualified hitters or hitters in general?
Only qualified hitters, because Orlando Arcia has a 293, but he has 6 plate appearances.
Yeah, that means Arcia's out. That means Sam Hilliard's probably out as well. If I had to guess, my guess would be probably just Jordan Beck.
John? It's just Jordan Beck. Jordan Beck has a 111 OPS plus. The next highest is Hunter Goodman with a 99. This team also has only 6 position players with positive WAR. Those 6 are Ryan McMahon, Ezekiel Tovar, Jordan Beck, Hunter Goodman, Sam Hilliard, and Orlando Arcia.
Sam Hilliard and Orlando Arcia have played a combined
they have a combined 5 games and 14
games.
plate appearances.
Correct.
And they have more WAR than Kyle Farmer, Zach Veen, Brenton
Moniak.
Doyle, Nick Martini, Mickey Moniak, Michael Tolias, Sean Bouchard, Adele Amador.
You just said a lot of names that have already been demoted, which I think
every single starting pitcher except for Ryan Feltner.
Yep.
I don't think this.
How do you do it, Adam? How do you not go crazy?
I sent this text message to you guys earlier this week, and this for me was a mental hurdle that I struggled with for a lot in my childhood and even in the recent years, kind of coming to grips with the fact that my team is really bad and it's kind of always going to be really bad. And just the way that this organization is structured, things will not change. They made a post on their PR account earlier this week thanking one of their minor league managers for 29 years of service to the organization. 29 years of service. Now, I don't want to call this one gentleman out specifically, but there is nobody in professional baseball that should be with the same organization for 29 years. It should not happen under any circumstances ever. The league evolves, the league changes, your staff has to evolve and change as well. And with the Rockies, it just doesn't. All right? They don't have any good talent because the good talent in the scouting department, in the front office, in the managerial aspect, all of the guys that know what they're doing have left the organization long ago for a team that actually has a direction. What the Rockies are stuck with are guys that are around for 29 years, taking a check, and they're comfortable where they're living, and they know their family's going to be taken care of, and they don't have aspirations to win. This is more of a retirement program than it is a professional baseball franchise, and that is really sad. The mental hurdle that I think I've gotten over in the last month or so, and really for the first time of my life, over the last month or so, I've finally been able to accept, that's the fact that if the Rockies picked up and moved to Kansas City tomorrow, my life would be better. If this franchise moved out of Colorado, I wouldn't be subject to watching them anymore. I'd get to pick a new team. And that might be the best possible outcome for me as a baseball fan. Because Lord knows I'm not seeing the Rockies win a World Series in my lifetime. I can put that stamp right now. I will die without seeing my team win a ring.
Yeah, I can't even refute that because it's empirically true. this is an organization that is. This is a masterclass in hyper isolationism that the Tokugawa shogunate would be jealous of. They are closed to outside business, which sucks because Denver's a great place to be.
And it's a great baseball state. And I saw that firsthand over this last week. I mean, we had 12,000 people coming out to watch JUCO baseball every single day in like the 15th most populous town in the state. Like, people here care about baseball. They always have.
Yeah.
When this team once in a millennium goes on a run, when they go to the postseason, this is one of the best atmospheres in baseball. If you don't believe me, go watch some clips from 2007. I promise you, you will change your opinion. But it's so few and it's so far between that it just doesn't even feel real. Like, this doesn't feel like a real franchise. And my life would be better off if they moved away.
So, do you think that Portland will take him?
Maybe Salt Lake?
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Well, that's the thing, is I think the league would maybe force them to stay in the West.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Portland, if they ever move, I don't think they will. Let me preface this by saying I do not think they will move.
Honestly, I don't think they'll move either. I think, though, like, my thing is that if they do end up going, I think what we're gonna see is Oakland be treated like the way that the Seattle is treated by NBA fans.
Yeah.
Like
they're next to mine and they deserve a team again.
Yeah, if a team decides that they're moving, if there's a team that decides they're leaving or they're expanding, Oakland is going to be on the list of where a team goes.
I would argue that Sacramento is going to be on that list as well when they get their team ripped from them in 3 years or however many extra years it ends up being when they have to delay the building in Las Vegas because Las Vegas is not actually interested in having a Major League Baseball franchise.
Yeah, seeing as they still haven't started building a stadium out there.
Yeah.
They will soon, don't worry.
They will. Oh, it'll happen. We're going to keep giving you AI renderings of stadiums until it does happen. I promise it's going to happen.
We got anything else in the NL, or do we need to move on?
If we don't have anything else, I have a fun game that I want to play with you guys that I've been saving for this next week.
Let's play a fun game.
Let's play a fun game. There's a Major League Baseball player. His name is Blake Snell.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Snell did an interview in this last week in which he shared with the network known as MLB Network. You might be familiar. He shared with MLB Network his top 5 greatest baseball players of all time. I would like to share this list verbatim with you guys, and I would like to read your reactions. Let's start. Would you like to start with number 1 or number 5?
Number 5.
Number 5. Starting with the 5th best player and going to the 1st. Number 5 all time, according to Mr. Blake Snell, is noted Boston Red Sox, David Ortiz. And we're already off to the races.
Wow.
Where would you gentlemen put Mr. Ortiz in your top whatever?
Like 15?
Top 15?
Maybe.
Yeah, like top 20 at least.
Number 4.
Oh dear.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a top 4 guy, but you can heavily argue top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, like easy.
Of baseball in general?
You could even argue top 5.
Yeah, baseball career instead of just MLB career. One of the most accomplished baseball players, period.
For sure. Correct. That would make sense. I could find the argument to keep him in my top 5.
I think you're getting a little bit of the hype moments and aura curse there, where it's like he's like kind of overrating him. I don't think that's a knock on Ichiro. I think it's just Blake's inflating it a little bit.
Yeah. Ichiro Suzuki is somebody that I would argue is one of my favorite baseball players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
He won one MVP, and it was his rookie year, and that was it.
Right.
Number 3, and the only pitcher represented in this top 5. I'm going to go ahead and lay those cards on the table right now because I think it helps with the reaction. The only pitcher that cracks Mr. Blake Snell's top 5, Randy Johnson.
Randy was
the third best player ever.
Randy Johnson, the third best player ever.
Randy was never the best pitcher in his league.
He's getting his number retired by the Mariners.
Ooh, you know who else did? Sugar Sanders. Like, Randy might have been the best pitcher in his league a few years, but
yeah,
he does have 5 Cy Youngs.
He's closer to outside of the top 10 greatest pitchers than he is number 1, in my opinion.
Yes. Okay.
The number 2 Major League Baseball player of all time. Second place, runner-up.
I'd like to point out that we haven't left the 90s yet.
The number 2 player, well, David Ortiz is on the list, to be fair.
Yeah, we haven't left anything earlier than the 90s. I'm sorry.
Correct. According to Mr. Blake Snell, the number 2 baseball player of all time, and the only guy other than David Ortiz who is a noted steroid guy, Mr. Barreled Bonds.
Okay. I mean,
if you're going to put steroid guys on the list, you got to have more than just him.
Now.
Also, if you're going to put steroid guys on the list, he's number 1. But,
yeah. I mean, generally performed the best hitting feats ever. Probably the purest hitter ever. Purest, of course, being the most accomplished and not the most natural. But he ate a balanced breakfast. But number 2 ever?
Number 2 ever. Barry Bonds.
He wasn't even. Did he play good defense? Was he a fast player? Did it matter? I don't know.
All bases.
Wait till you hear number 1.
Oh dear. Oh, it's gonna be like Blake Snell's number 1 player ever.
Blake Snell's number 1 player ever.
Hang on, wait.
Please.
When you look up Barry Bonds on Baseball Reference and you don't select his name and you just hit enter, it comes up with Barry Bonds and then Christian Campbell.
So close.
Oh, his nickname is Barry Bonds.
Welcome
Christian
back.
Campbell's nickname is not Barry Bonds.
Nickname Barry Bonds.
Okay.
According to Mr. Blake Snell, the number 1 Major League Baseball player of all time, Ken Griffey Jr.
Wow. Wow.
Blake played against? Ken Griffey Jr. has 1 MVP.
Ever?
The greatest baseball player of all time.
Ever? I'm sorry, ever?
So there is, and this is, listen, not to pick on Blake Snell. It is kind of to pick on Blake Snell because he's an enemy of the podcast, but more than just picking on Blake Snell, I chose to take this snippet and share it with you guys because I think, generally speaking, the level of ball knowledge of current Major League Baseball players or just professional athletes in general is much, much lower than the average American thinks.
Yeah.
If this is what the best and brightest minds are producing, like, come on.
So I guess a way that you can halfway say how good a player is like their WAR, right? Like that's like how valuable a player is over their career, basically.
Yeah, and it's not a super accurate measurement. It's not a great measurement, but it's the best one we have. Like, without a doubt, the best one.
Do you know how many of those players fit that Blake Snell says are the top 5 or in the top 5?
For WAR, I'm going to guess 0.
It's 1. It's Barry Bonds.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bonds is number 1 all-time in WAR with 162.8.
That's pretty. Pretty
Do you know who
incredible.
the first active player is on this list?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Who is it?
Mike Trout at 32.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed.
86.
He's got a long way to go.
Mookie Betts is at 59 with 72. Where's the first young guy?
So, quick aside, Orlando Arcia is playing third for the Rockies today.
Correct.
The tandem of third base and first base of Orlando Arcia and Keston Hiura.
Get to the grid.
Let's get to the grid.
I'll tell you what, this 2025 Rockies team is going to produce some great grid answers in 3 years.
Keston Hiura still plays baseball? I thought he retired.
I pulled out my Keston Hiura jersey on the day he got called up.
I'm sorry.
I had to change it halfway through the day because North Dakota State was going to eliminate Kansas, so I had to put on my North Dakota State jersey. But
Where's your Michael Toglia jersey?
I don't own one of those.
No, really?
I know noted Italian-American Michael Toglia is currently in AAA, so.
I've heard Albuquerque's wonderful this time of year.
You'd be wrong.
Oh.
John, what do we have on the grid?
The Immaculate Grid is a 3x3 grid with 9 intersections where you have to match each, shut up. Stop asking questions. Look it up yourself. There's 792 of these things. Use Google. Column 1, the Minnesota Twins. Column 2, the Boston Red Sox. Column 3, 30-plus stolen base season. Row 1, the Cincinnati Reds. Row 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers of Dodgers. And row 3, the Seattle Mariners of Marinerland.
Okay. Can I put one up for Dodgers Twins?
You can do whatever you'd like.
Eddie Rosario.
That's not.
Dodgers Twins? I mean, I can type it in. He's at 2%, by the way. Oh, my dog agrees, I guess. She just started barking.
Dodgers Twins?
Yeah, Dodgers Twins. Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, I click Twins Mariners. That's correct.
Well, there's your issue. I have a Dodgers Red Sox.
Yeah.
Somebody who was mentioned in our group chat earlier today.
Mookie Betts?
David Price.
It's true, David Price.
What's the price?
The price is wrong.
3%.
Twins, Reds, we could do Billy Hamilton. Also someone we mentioned on this episode.
That is true.
2%.
Twins Mariners, enemy of the program, Taylor Motter.
Is he actually an enemy of the program?
He is an enemy of the program.
Okay.
Noted former Colorado Rocky. He once tried to fist fight a journalist in AAA Albuquerque. Or excuse me, this might have been a road game in Salt Lake. But regardless, when he was in AAA, he once tried to fist fight a journalist because the journalist said that he was bad defensively.
Red Sox, Reds, we could do noted recent exerciser of their opt-out clause, Dominic Smith.
Point 2%.
Mariners, Red Sox? Okay.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about Mariners Red Sox right now.
How much do you think people are thinking about Ricky Henderson for that?
Enough.
Enough? A lot? Oh.
Every answer.
I mean, you could do. Did Abraham Almonte play for the Mariners? Because I know he played for the Red Sox in recent memory. He's always a good one for just like some random teams.
I believe he did.
He did play for the Mariners. Yeah, so Abraham Almonte.
See, my head went to Mike Carp. So
0.1.
All right, stolen bases. Dodgers stolen bases. How about this guy Shohei Ohtani?
We could.
No.
Yeah, we could do that.
You want the rarity score to go up by like 80%?
We won't, but we could.
I mean, we could do B. Strange Gordon. We did just talk about him.
Yeah, we could.
You know, probably Matt Kemp probably did it too, right?
I have one for the Reds. We're doing Drew Stubbs.
Noted former Rocky.
Yeah.
You think Dave Roberts stole 30 bases when he played for the Dodgers?
It's possible.
Could have.
Let me try that.
Oh,
He did 2%.
Oh yeah.
What years is Dave Roberts?
He stole 30
81.
straight. He stole 30 straight bags from 2002 to 2004.
Oh, 1999 to 2008.
That's the one.
All right, there he is.
Arguably the second greatest Japanese-born player in baseball history, Dave Roberts.
What? He was born in Japan.
He was.
He was born in Japan.
I'm telling you, man. The big three are Ichiro, him, and Rob Refsnyder.
Rob Refsnyder was born in Korea, I thought.
Yeah, Rob Schneider is Korean, I'm pretty sure.
Cut that out.
Korean-American baseball player, born Kim Jong-tae.
All right, I have one for Mariners.
Please.
Sean Figgins.
Fine by me.
Do you guys know how to spell Sean?
Chone.
There you go. All right, rarity score of 15. Hard spot on the grid today was Reds Twins.
Wow.
We put Billy Hamilton for that. So
Dewey.
That's
What do
crazy.
we
I'm still looking at Dave Roberts. He was born on Okinawa to a U.S. Marine station in Japan and a Japanese woman native to Okinawa. I did not know that. Go off, King.
well, guys, I think this was an extra long episode.
It is, yeah. A recording's gone for an hour 13 minutes.
I apologize for you people that just had to listen to 73 minutes of this.
Well, probably like
75.
65.
I want to hear a joke.
If you listen on 2 times speed, why?
If you listen on half speed, shout out you.
Shout out you.
If you listen like you're Rob Refsnyder, thank you.
You can find the chatting average not only wherever you get your podcasts, but also on X, the Everything app. We are at the Chatting AVG. If you find us on X, the Everything app, you can reply to any of our tweets. However, you must start your reply with hashtag Tyrese Halliburton.
Of course.
It's true.
Yes. And if you're wondering how to phonetically spell or how to spell out Rob Refsnyder in case you need pronunciation value, Baseball Reference says REF-SNYDER, which is exactly how you also spell his name. So
That's not very helpful. I'll be honest. That's not very helpful. I would like to conclude today's show, if you guys don't mind, reading off the first team, all-name team from this year's JUCO World Series. I find this very important, very dear to my heart. So I hope you guys will give me the leeway to share this. Is that all right?
Sure.
can I do one thing first?
By all means. By all means.
Okay. I'm going to give you Psalm 130, verse 1 through 2 of the Bible of Baseball. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Shohei. O Shohei, hear my voice. Let your bats be attentive to the voice of my pleas for your home runs.
Amen.
You can read those names now.
The 2025 Junior College Division One Junior College World Series. I'll name first team, not in position order, but rather in alphabetical order, are as follows. Billy Bird, Salt Lake Community College. Boston Bruce, Johnson County Community College. Cage McLeod, McLennan Community College. Carson Cabbage, Walter State Community College. Clay Seal, Lakeland College. Garrig Marble, Salt Lake Community College. Spencer Butt, McLennan Community College. Thegis Helms, Eastern Oklahoma State University. Trip Gann, Shelton State Community College. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
I'm going to hack into the mainframe.